possibility to get growth, sustainable growth for our economy from trades.
Ministers of Finance from across the region endorsed the new common external tariff at the subsequent meeting, signifying another important milestone on the road to a customs union of the 15 ECOWAS member states. Under the new regime, 5% duty is applicable to 2,146 tariff lines in the basic raw materials and capital goods category. 10% duty has been prescribed for the 1,373 tariff lines that qualify as intermediate products category, while 20% duty has been fixed for the 2,165 tariff lines that fall into the category of final consumer products. The ministers agreed that the concerns expressed by some member states, such as the treatment of raw sugar and the request for special treatment for Cape Verde due to its location and vulnerabilities, should be addressed within the framework of trade defense measures. They also agreed on the creation of a 1.5% community integration levy as part of the strategies to help the region cope with the challenges of implementation of the new tariff regime. The levy will replace the two existing community levy regimes made up of the ECOWAS Community Levy and the counterpart Community Solidarity Levy for the UEMOA. However, the scope and operation of this levy is to be subjected to further regional discussions as there were concerns by member states. The ECOWAS Commission was directed to expedite the conclusion of the taxation of pharmaceutical products by striking a balance between the need to stimulate local production capacity and ensure the availability of drugs to meet the health needs of the region's citizens. The adoption of the Regional Common External Tariff represents a major achievement in the history of ECOWAS.
It's significant because the Common External Tariff is a basis of construction of an economic community. This is a long-standing objective of ECOWAS since its inceptions, and I am very glad that after 10 years of consultation, 10 years of technical meetings and also ministerial meetings, we are in a position now to present to our member states a draft common external tariff for ECOWAS. This is a great achievement because you cannot talk about a unified customs zone if you do not have a common external tariff. The common external tariff is the finalization of the whole process, given the fact that all products originating from ECOWAS member states will circulate freely among member states. Now we are going to apply a common tariff vis-à-vis the products coming from outside ECOWAS. This is, I think, a great achievement for our community.
Cela veut dire concrètement que lorsque un commerçant importe des marchandises.
This concretely explains that when a trader imports into Nigeria, he pays the same duty with a trader who imports the same product into Sierra Leone, Senegal, or Burkina Faso. This is the common external tariff, and this is what we are trying to adopt here in Praia.
Ministers of Trade and Finance from West Africa, joined by Mauritania, also met in Praia on the heels of the CET meeting to review other elements of the package for the EPA negotiations. Experts from the region had reviewed the areas of divergence between ECOWAS and the EU, which stalled the negotiations. The European Union is insisting that West Africa open its market by 80% over 15 years, while the region has been offering 70% over 25 years. There have also been issues with the EPA development program, with West Africa insisting that the EU provide 6.5 billion euros new funding to ameliorate the challenges implementation of the EPA is likely to foster in the region, and Mauritania, which is a party to the negotiations. The EU is, however, offering already existing funding facilities under the European Development Fund, EDF, and other bilateral financial commitments to West African states. The Ministerial Monitoring Committee reviewed the new positions the experts had recommended for West Africa to get the negotiations back on stream. At the opening of the meeting, Cape Verde's Minister of External Relations, George Borges, warned of their consequences for West Africa's economy should the region concede to the European Union's request for 80% opening of its markets under the new partnership agreement. He said no country could develop without protecting its industries, warning that the region runs the risk of having its market taken over by European goods with the suggested opening of its market. The minister reiterated West Africa's position that the impending agreement should promote the region's socio-economic development agenda. Mr. Borges said West Africa must remain focused to ensure that the new trade regime helps to actualize its development objectives, including progressively integrating the region into the global economy, improving the competitiveness of the regional economy, and reducing poverty. President of the ECOWAS Commission, Ambassador Desiree Kadri Ouedraogo, reiterated that the EPA is to replace the previous trade arrangements that guided trade relations between West Africa and the European Union. He, however, noted that this trade agreement is different from the previous trade regimes in several respects, as the ongoing negotiations have enabled West Africa to emphasize its development priorities, adding that the EPA should not be seen solely as a trade issue, but as a development platform.
We have to take advantage of the EPA to attract external investment and external resources so that we can strengthen our economic enterprises so that they are able to sustain competitiveness with the outside world. So this is what we call the development dimension. And we believe that if we take care of all of that, the EPA will be a benefit of our region instead of being a threat of our economy.
A ministerial monitoring committee deliberated extensively on the new proposals West Africa, joined by Mauritania, are considering to revive the EPA negotiations. They are to be subjected to further consultations and reviews in view of the consequences to national and regional economies. The prior engagements provided an opportunity for ECOWAS President Ambassador Kadri Desiree Ouedraogo to meet with the government of Cape Verde on his first official visit to the country. The ECOWAS Commission President visited and exchanged views with President Jorge Carlos Fonseca and Prime Minister Jose Maria Neves in their offices in Praia. Ambassador Ouedraogo hailed Cape Verde as a beacon for democracy and a model going by its series of transparent, free and fair elections. Briefing the media, the ECOWAS Commission President spoke on AFISMA operations in Mali, as well as efforts to sustain the culture of democracy in that country and the region. He also spoke on the engagements of ECOWAS to enhance the interest of the West African community.
Cette audience aussi a été l'occasion pour moi de présenter au Premier ministre les...
I will take the case of stability and security in our region. This is a key element in our strategy due to lack of development. There can be no development without stability and security. Also, as we said earlier, free movement and right of residents is an important element for integration in West Africa.
The ECOWAS Commission President, accompanied by 3 of the 7 commissioners of the institution and some directors, also met and exchanged views with the Ministry of External Relations led by the Minister, George Borges. He told him that the new management team is focusing on food security, institutional reform and capacity building, as well as human resources development to equip the region's teeming youth with the capacity to realize their full potential. The President told the Minister that his priorities also include the maintenance of regional peace and security, as well as the removal of the obstacles hindering the smooth implementation of the regional protocol on free movement of persons. Also on the priority list are the improvement of regional infrastructure, such as roads, energy, and addressing the challenges of the air transport sector. The ECOWAS Commission President visited ECOWAS institutions with headquarters in Praia. The West African Institute, WAI, on integration was set up by the region in Praia to undertake researches on integration, and Ambassador Ouedraogo challenged the staff to elevate the institute to a center of excellence. Another ECOWAS institution in Cape Verde is the 3-year-old ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, ECRI, established to help in addressing the twin issues of energy efficiency and renewable energy against the background of the energy challenge in West African region. Executive Director, ACRI, Mr. Mohammed